Hello all, Shadwell here, ready to talk about the next film in my collection, Chicago from 2002. It's directed by Rob Marshall and stars Renee Zellweger and Catherine Zeta-Jones. This film was nominated for a nearly record-breaking 13 Academy Awards in 2003, winning nearly half of them, including Best Editing, Best Sound, and Best Supporting Actress for Catherine Zeta-Jones, and Best Picture. Now, this might blow your minds coming from a theater guy and Chicago being based on a musical that was based on a play, but I'm not a huge fan of Chicago. Well, perhaps I should restate that. Although I like it just fine, I don't believe Chicago to be a great film. Certainly not worth all those Oscar nominations and Best Picture. Although I do agree with at least nominating it for Best Editing, as it was really good editing, and it was probably the best costuming of the year, so I can see why it won an Oscar for that. But for the life of me, I can't rectify this film as an Oscar winner for Best Picture. It just feels really weird to me. It's enjoyable, it's entertaining, it's good, just as I've already said, not great. I like the songs and I like the tippity-tap of the choreography, and I even really like the idea that the film's message is, just as the tagline suggests, with the right song and dance you can get away with murder. All that stuff is really good, it's just not great. But since it did, for whatever reason, win the Best Picture Oscar, it is in my collection as I'm collecting as many Best Picture films as possible. And who knows, this might have found its way into my collection even without the Oscar, because even on this viewing for this review, I found myself singing along to the songs and mouthing along with a lot of the dialogue lines. Also, and I hate to say this because it sounds cruel, but this could have been the last really good thing Richard Gere has done with his career so far. Now, he still has a lot of years ahead of him to prove me wrong, but I look at his career since 2002's Chicago, and even though he's done some good stuff, none of it is on the level or quality of his work in this film. The song and dance number for Razzle Dazzle, and especially They Both Reach for the Gun, were very impressive, and he hasn't reached those heights again in over 20 years. To that end, Catherine Zeta-Jones had a good turn in Intolerable Cruelty the following year in 2003, but she hasn't hit the mark like she did with Chicago since Chicago either. Sorry if this sounds dickish, but they turned into really good performances, perhaps the best part about this film, and they haven't had career highs like that since. I'm giving Chicago a B-, and tomorrow I'll be reviewing the remake of Child's Play. See y'all then.